States and Iran are back to the negotiating table in Switzerland to try to secure a deal over Iran's nuclear program. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry has arrived in Lausanne and will meet with Iran's Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif. The deadline for a solution is just weeks away. CCTV's Dan Whitehead joins us now in Lausanne for more. Dan.
Well, Susan, all eyes are on the hotel behind me where the US Secretary of State John Kerry arrived in the last 30 minutes or so. Both negotiating teams are preparing for what could be a week of talks. Any deal would be historic, but the clock is ticking.
Security is heightened in this city on the shores of Lake Geneva. The US wants to finally close in on a deal to reduce Tehran's nuclear capabilities. 18 months of tense negotiations have come down to these meetings, with a deadline just weeks away. But analysts say there is no certainty a deal will be struck.
Given the pressure on both sides, I think that the opportunity to secure an agreement is better than it has been before. But equally, if it doesn't come about, we could see things start to unravel after June.
The sanctions imposed on Iran cost the country an estimated $5 to $8 billion a month. Iran wants them lifted, but it also wants to maintain some nuclear capabilities for civilian purposes. John Kerry says there are still important gaps that need to be resolved, with the P5+1 group of countries, including China, insisting intrusive checks on Iran's nuclear stockpiles must be allowed. Completing a trip to Egypt before arriving in Lausanne, Mr. Kerry emphasized how time is running out.
As you all know, we have set the end of the month as the deadline. And so we will be going into this understanding that time is critical. I can't tell you whether or not we can get a deal or whether we're close.
Iran's Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif will meet with EU counterparts on Monday in Brussels, with talks potentially lasting well into the week in Switzerland.
Well, tonight, John Kerry has said that the main differences between the US and Iran are political and not technical. Those could prove to be the hardest to resolve. Back to you, Susan.
Dan Whitehead reporting live in Lausanne. Thank you for that.